This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome back to QAC TV. In today's video, we're talking all about relationships. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, click subscribe, and smash the notification bell so you never miss a video. Let's get right into it. So I really wanted to do this video for you guys because all down my timeline on my social medias, I have seen so much talk about relationships and babies and family and marriage and etc. And I thought that it was the perfect time to do this video. I have multiple conversations on a day-to-day basis about relationships, people who are dating, courting, is there a difference? People ask me a lot of questions, and I thought this was the perfect time to do this video. So I'm going to be addressing what is the definition of dating and what is the definition of courting. How are they different? How are they similar? And why both terms are used interchangeably. So if you would like to hear more about this, keep watching. So first, I'm going to give you the definitions of what each thing means. I googled them just for you guys, just so you can know I'm not making this up. These are not my own opinionated definitions, but these are the actual definitions of these terms. The term courting is the act of courting is defined as the experience of establishing an intense relationship with someone with the desire to see if marriage is the correct choice for the couple. The definition for dating is a social event whereby two people meet for companionship. When I hear this, this is what I take it as. For courting, you are getting to know each other. You are faithful in getting to know each other. There are not multiple parties involved. When I hear dating, I hear it's free game. Multiple parties are involved, which means you can see whoever you want to see. You're just going out for maybe a movie or something to eat, and you're not solely committed to that one person, but you can be going out with multiple people at a time. You don't necessarily have to be sleeping with them or being intimate with them, but you are seeing multiple people at one time. That's what I hear when I hear those two definitions. So why are they considered different in the dating relationship, in the relationship game? Here's the answer to that. So courting is a biblical term. Well, I won't say biblical term, excuse me. I would say it's a religious term. And it's used by multiple cultures. Some aspects of courting include being equally yoked, to be faithful in the talking stage, and to practice celibacy until marriage. So, when it says equally yoked is not in the Bible, but the term unequally yoked is. And when people hear unequally yoked, it comes from 2 Corinthians 6:14, and it basically says, be not unequally yoked with unbelievers. So what that means is you as a Christian should not date non-Christians. That's basically what that means. And the reason is because if you are a Christian, okay, so let's use me as an example. I'm a Christian. My morals and my belief: abstinence, celibacy, saving yourself to marriage, don't drink, don't smoke, don't fornicate. We'll get to what that term means if you're not sure what that term means. We'll also get to what the term celibacy and abstinence means as well if you're not familiar with those terms. But there are certain things that I don't do based on what the Word of God says to not do. However, someone who is not a Christian per se may still drink, or may still smoke, or may cuss, may, not see a problem with intimacy on that level. That would then be us being unequally yoked, because we have two different perspectives, two different views, and it will cause issues in the relationship if you feel like one thing is wrong and I feel like it's right, vice versa. That's what it means when it says to not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. You should not covenant with someone in that perspective, on that level, who is not in agreement with what you are in agreement with. when it comes to being faithful in the talking stage. That basically means, so for the most part, with courting, the man seeks out after the woman, and he is looking to woo her with the hopes of seeing if this is meant to be his wife, because we do see in the word of God that it says a man that finds a wife shall find a good thing. Now that's a totally separate video of how a man who is unmarried can find his wife. In the process of courting, you are solely talking to one person, going out with one person, entertaining, if you will, one person only, with the intentions to see if this person is right for marriage in your eyes. Practices celibacy until marriage. Now the terms celibacy and abstinence are used interchangeably. I just posted a post yesterday about my new purity ring that I bought myself. Well, I upgraded myself. It says True Love Waits, and I decided to become celibate or abstinent after a bad breakup with my ex-fiance. Here are the definitions for abstinence and celibacy. Sexual abstinence, also known as continence, is abstaining from some or all aspects of sexual activity, often for some limited period of time, while celibacy may be defined as a voluntary religious vow not to marry or engage in sexual activity. So they're used interchangeably because they both require you to not be sexually active. However, with one, it can also be used to say that you're not looking to get married. With the other, it's used to say you one day would hope to be married, of course. However, also, when people refer to themselves as abstinent, it could also be that they are a virgin who has not done anything. And celibacy could be more so of a born-again virgin where they're not doing anything now until their husband comes. Either one is fine. Both are the practice of not having any sexual relations before marriage. The reason why in the relationship of courting, sexual abstinence or celibacy occurs is so one can actually get to know the other on a deep, intense level without sex being involved. Everyone knows that any form of sex, whether it's, okay, I'm not even gonna speak on what type it is, but whatever kind of sexual relation it is, it tends to cloud the vision of a person who is trying to get to know a person. You can think a person is so good to you because of what they do to you, and they may not really be healthy for you. In the Christian community, it's important for us to abstain from that, so that way our minds don't get construed when we're looking for our husband or our wife. The thing with courting, when it first started to become a thing, the couple may not spend much time together without being accompanied to resist from sexual temptation, which is fornication. Fornication is sex between persons that are not married to each other. So this is also a Christian term. We hear the term in the Bible for us not to fornicate with one another, and that basically means to save yourself from marriage. So that's also where that term comes from. However, when it comes to dating, those relationships are a little bit more complicated because 9 times out of 10 people are being sexual in those relationships. You can hear a person dating for months, years, weeks, however long, that already have exchanged juices in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and they are completely okay with that. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some Christians who do this, but that is not right. That is not okay. You do have some dating relationships nowadays, regardless of how long they've been dating, who do involve in sexual interaction during their course of their relationship, and some end up being married and some don't. Some end up getting married and end up getting divorced or separated or what have you, and that just causes a lot of confusion. It creates this thing in the Christian community called a soul tie. When it comes to dating, some people will tell you, you know, I really want to marry this dude, I really want to marry this girl, and they are dating to marry. Now, there are some couples out here who are dating to marry, and that's not impossible. However, the difference is they may be doing something in their relationship. Now, there are some who are completely not doing anything in their relationships and they consider it dating, not knowing that there is a term for it. So that's the difference between dating and courting, and why the two terms have been bounced around throughout modern day history, because, you know, some of the principles have been interchanged with each other. I don't know if that's just to make life easier or what have you, but I do still very much believe in the practice of courting. I'm currently abstinent now, and it was the best decision I could have ever made in my life. And it's important to know that once you commit to something like that, I've been that way for 3 years now, and it's important to, once you commit to something like that, that you cannot stray away from that in any way, shape, form, or fashion, regardless of what relationship you get in. I'm a firm believer that, you know, there are just some things that you should not let up on, and that comes with knowing your worth in a relationship or in a covenant or what have you that you are entering with a person. It's important to, you know your values and know your morals and know what you will and won't compromise on. For me, in a relationship, that is not a compromise for me. You either will take me like this or you won't, and I fully expect for you to be the exact same way. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling anybody that they have to change for anybody or for anything. I am not changing my perspective on that particular issue for any man that comes into my life. They are just gonna have to accept that. Now, I'm not saying that they have to change the way that they feel. What I am saying is that you will have to either be on one accord with me or learn to accept that if you are looking for me to be your wife one day, or if you are looking for us to court in a relationship. That is all for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this very informative video. If you have any questions for me, please leave a comment down below, and don't forget to like this video before you go. I drop videos every single Sunday, so make sure you subscribe to the QAct TV family. I love all of my new subbies, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being so loyal. You guys are so awesome. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys next Sunday when I drop my next video. Peace. Bye for now.